Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Whoa, what the fuck?
The hell is that? I don't know. I've never seen helicopters like that before. Have you? No, it's not, man. No, I don't know what the hell that is. Holy shit.
Meantime, UFO sightings in New York have nearly doubled since the pandemic began, and we are getting new video from the Navy showing pyramid-shaped objects flying in the sky.
Trace, good morning. This extraordinary video and images of unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, were leaked to investigative reporter Jeremy Corbell and investigative reporter George Knapp. This night vision video purportedly shows 3 pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the USS Russell off the coast of California in July of 2019. At one point, these UFOs reportedly hovered just 700 feet above the tail of the Navy destroyer, making, quote, extraordinary maneuvers. Now, Corbell says the unclassified video is part of a classified government report intended to educate officials about unidentified crafts flying over restricted airspace.
Tell them to look at it. It's a UFO.
On one surveillance video I saw, you did see a bright flashing light at the same time of the sound. And on another home surveillance video, you hear the boom in the distance. Depot thought it was a boat explosion, so she looked down the Cumberland River but didn't see anything.
It just was so odd.
She also smelled something strange.
It was just not a normal kind of odor.
All right, we continue to follow breaking news out of Mexico. This is what the USGS is now calling a 7.0 magnitude earthquake that struck near Acapulco, Mexico at 6:47 p.m. LA time tonight.
On Labor Day, people were out boating and enjoying time with friends and family. But here in Montgomery County, the entire town is wondering why the weekend started off with a boom.
A lot of people are obviously saying the conspiracy theory of aliens because we got to have some crazy in the mix.
Stephanie Rattray heard about the loud boom. It happened Saturday evening around 10 o'clock. People across the county called 911 when they heard it. Law enforcement officers searched for hours but didn't find anything. And so residents were left to wonder what happened.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. That's like the biggest thing right now.
Police say no injuries were reported and no one called them about property damage. The boom remains a mystery.
Especially like being in Clarksville. There's plenty of other things going on, but you know, that one takes the cake, so.
Police say Fort Campbell wasn't running any training exercises because they're on a 4-day weekend.
And we know this morning that at least one person is dead. These are images of the destruction coming in this morning, showing walls that have crumbled and light poles that have collapsed into the streets and onto cars. This quake was centered about 10 miles outside of Acapulco, but the capital city, buildings swayed there in Mexico City. That is 200 miles away from the epicenter of this quake, and we have seen images of power flashes lighting up the sky as the ground shook, and people running into the streets for safety. Mexico's National Civil Defense said that it was conducting reviews in 10 states, and outside of the one person we know that has passed away, there were no other reports of serious injuries or catastrophic damage. Still a frightening night for people in that region, many who got no sleep at all over fears of aftershocks. Amy, there have been more than 90 of them.
Countries will need to reach an agreement on how to deal with the loss of biodiversity. So what exactly is on the table?
Well, there certainly is a sense of urgency here in Marseille, and you only need to look at the data to understand why. 1 in 4 mammals, 1 in 8 bird species threatened with extinction. 80% of insects have already disappeared. The IUCN is expected to release its updated red list of threatened species, which will most likely confirm what experts have been fearing all along, that we are facing a biodiversity crisis.
Well, did you feel that rumble this morning? Some of you let us know about it. Something shook parts of the area at around 11 o'clock. What was it? Good question. The experts at the U.S. Geological Survey say it likely was not an earthquake, but they guessed it may have been connected to the military. But the Navy says it wasn't them. The mystery remains.
It's not every day you see the moon turn red, but that's exactly what happened today in some parts of the world.
And the upcoming moon will give us a special show, the second and the largest supermoon of the year, and a lunar eclipse. A lot going on.
And a rare astronomical show.
Recently, there was a flare on the sun, so today Dave Leake is joining us to tell us why that happens and that effect that it has on the Earth.
And sometimes things just fall into your lap, and that's really what's happened this week. If we could just go quickly to image number 1, here's a picture of the sun from Saturday, and I want you to notice the little sunspot group that's there kind of at the upper left. And image number 2 is from yesterday, and look what happens to the sunspot group. See how it's moved. There's a 11-year cycle, and we're kind of coming on into the next cycle. In fact, in 2020, there was 208 days where we didn't have any spots on the sun whatsoever, but that's going to be picking up. And you can see material streaming away from the sun. We call these things coronal mass ejections. Doesn't that sound painful? And these things leave the sun anywhere from 600,000 to 6 million miles per hour.
Whoa.
Now, if these things happen to be aimed at the Earth, believe it or not, it can be a little bit dangerous. This is from yesterday. And you're looking at the pole of the Earth, and this is sort of around the magnetic pole, and where the green is there, that's where the air is glowing, and that's what gives us the northern lights. Image 8 shows you the northern lights, and this picture was not taken by me. This picture was taken by Frank Lang in Saskatoon, believe it or not, and he took this, I believe this was on May 18th. So when the northern lights are glowing, it's really the air glowing.
It's going to be an interesting week because we're going to see something in the skies we haven't seen for a while, as a matter of fact.
From Hong Kong to Australia, eyes to the skies Wednesday as a rare celestial event took shape.
Skywatchers woke up early on the West Coast to view a rarely seen spectacle.
So there's the triangle, right?
A super blood moon. Last night it took place at the same time as a lunar eclipse, making the moon look like it was turning a dark red color.
First, a supermoon, which appears larger than a normal full moon. You can see it rising here over ancient ruins in Greece. As for the blood part, well, that's because in some parts of the world, including the western U.S., it coincided with the first total lunar eclipse in 2 years.
As the nighttime sky turned a fiery red.
We turn now to Central Africa, where a devastating volcanic eruption has killed at least 15 people.
There was no warning given of this eruption. The night sky pulsing red as molten rock swept down the slopes of Mount Nyiragongo. When a sea of lava built down below, the local government gave the order to evacuate.
There were widespread power outages in the nearby city of Goma. Residents were unsure of where to find a safe haven. The flowing lava made this road impassable. When Mount Nyiragongo...
Just 6 miles away, Mount Nyiragongo had erupted again, spewing rivers of hot lava that snaked their way towards the lakeside city, home to at least 2 million people.
It's considered one of the world's most dangerous volcanoes.
Authorities had urged Goma's 2 million residents to evacuate after Mount Nyiragongo erupted for the first time in almost 2 decades.
A massive volcano erupting just miles away from your town. It's happening right now in Iceland, where residents in the capital, just about 20 miles away, can see it fuming and spurting, and others live even closer.
Now, the volcano started erupting March 19th and has been putting on a show, drawing scientists and tourists alike.
And it's spectacular. I couldn't believe, even these scientists who study these things, it's their life. You would get out of the car, you would turn your head, and you would see this erupting volcano, and almost everyone would say, wow. It was just spectacular.
It is beautiful to see from a distance as well.